This is WAEC June 2022 General Mathematics Paper 2, and we are answering question number 10. The question number 10 reads, the table shows the distribution of ages of a number of children in a school. This is the table. This is the row for ages 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the number of children with those ages here. The first one, 2 children are 3 years old, 6 of them are 4 years old, 5 of them 5 years old. X number of them are 6 years old, 6 of them are 7 years old, and so on. So the question says if the mean of this distribution is 7, the question asked is to find the question number A, the value of X. This X, the number of children that are 6 years old. Question number B, the standard deviation of their ages. So let's attempt to answer this very question together. Solution to the problem. We attempted to get the mean, of course, as given in the question as 7. But attempting to get this mean will enable us to find X. That is question number A. The number of children that are 6 years old. The formula for finding mean, remember, says is summation fx all over summation f. So what I will need to do, I'll convert this the table instead horizontal to become vertical format. I'll now find what is summation fx from the table, and I now find what is summation f from the table. Let me convert it. So you have your ages as x here represented by x because it's the data we have collected, and you now have f here representing the number of children, that is the frequency. I copied all those instead horizontal is now vertical. I also copied the frequency instead horizontal is now vertical. So what I'm going to do next is to have a column for f times x. Let me write it here. So I'll now take each and every f multiplied by its corresponding x. So 2 times 3, that gives 6 here. The next is 6, the frequency multiplied by the age 4. 6 times 4 gives answer 24. I'll continue like that 5 times 5, x times 6, 6 times 7. If you do it correctly, you are going to have 25, 6x, 42, 72, 72, and 50. This is my fx. Looking at my formula, I would like to add all the fx. All the fx together is what I'm going to substitute here in my formula. I'm also going to add all the f. That is the summation f. So starting with the summation f, 2 plus 6 plus 5 plus this x plus 6 plus 9. If you did correctly together, it gives you 41 plus x. If you also find the summation of x, that is 6 plus 24 plus 25 plus 6x plus 42. If you did correctly, that gives answer 291 plus 6x. So these are the expressions representing summation fx and the summation f by a. So substituting these expressions in this very formula, summation fx is 291 plus 6x substituted. The mean substituted by 7, the summation f summation is substituted by 41 plus x. If that is done correctly, you have 7 equals to 291 plus 6x divided by 41 plus x. So next is to cross multiply in attempt to get the value of x. So cross multiply, 7 multiplied by 41 plus x gives answer 287 plus 7x equals to 291 plus 6x multiplied by 1 here at the bottom of 7. That gives you the same 291 plus 6x. Collected like a term, 6x shifted to the left becomes minus, so you have 7x minus 6x, which end as 1x. And 287 shifted to the right becomes minus, so you have 291 minus 287, which gives answer x as 4. So we have answered question number A. We move to question number B, that we asked to find the standard deviation of this distribution. Standard deviation, remember, is given by the formula square root of inside the square root you have a fraction, the numerator is summation f d square all over summation f. This is the formula we use to find the standard deviation of distribution. So what you need to do to find the summation f d square, it is required to find what is d first, then what is the d square. Then you can now take each and every d square multiplied by its corresponding f. So let me just have columns for D squared, then for FD squared. So you have D here, this is D squared, and you now have last FD squared. What is D is simply referring to deviation of each and every edge from the mean, which is 7. So to find this, the D, I will now take 3 minus the mean, which is 7. That give answer minus 4. The next D is take this edge 4 minus the mean. That give answer minus 3. The next D is now the data or the edge, which is 5 minus the mean, which is 7. That gives answer minus 2. If you continue like that correctly, you now have minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. These are the D's. So next is to find what is D square. That's take each and every D, you find it is square. So minus 4 square, that gives answer 16. Minus 3 square, that gives answer 9. Minus 2 square, that gives answer 4. You continue like that. If you did correctly, you're going to have 1, 0, 1, 4, and 9. So next is to get this column F D square. This are your D square, and you now have a corresponding F for each D square. So you multiply it together. So 16 multiplied by this to 2. 2 is the frequency, while this 16 is the D square. So 2 times 16, that gives answers 32. Next is to take the 6 multiplied by 9. That gives answer 54. Next is 5, the frequency multiplied by the D square, which is 4. If you continue like that, if you did correctly, you have 24, 0, 9, 32, and 45. This is your FD square. So next is to get the summation of this FD square is what we are going to substitute as numerator of this very fraction. And we now have summation. F, of course, is an expression for 1 plus x, but we have x here as 4. So let's just add the summation of d square. If you add 32 plus 54 plus 20 plus 4 plus 0, if you do it correctly, the result is going to be 196. So substituting 196 by fd square and the summation f by 45, you now have root of 196 divided by 45. 45, remember summation f is 41 plus x, but x is now determined as 4. So you have 41 plus 4. That gives answer this 45. So dividing 196 by 45 correctly give result 4.3555, and you now take the square root of this. If that is done correctly, you now have 2.087. This would now be the standard deviation of this distribution. So next is to just to show you how this very question is now marked. That is the mark distribution for this very question as it is there in the marking scheme. So the very first mark is this method 1 mark. And this method 1 mark is for your attempt to get fx, that is multiplying each and every x by its corresponding frequency. You have this method 1 mark. If you now add the summation fx correctly and arrive at this very expression 291 plus 6x correctly, you have this accuracy 1 mark. Substituted in the formula for mean, the expression for summation fx and the expression for summation f correctly as 7 equals to 291 plus 6x all over 41 plus x. If that is done correctly, you have this method 1 mark. Next mark is attempting to solve this for x by cross multiplying. You have this method 1 mark, and when you now collected like terms and you have the value of x finally as 4 exactly, you have this accuracy 1 mark. So question number E alone has 5 good marks. Moving to question number B, the standard deviation. The standard deviation, finding this fd square, that is taking each and every d square multiplying by its corresponding f alone. Doing that gives you this method 1 mark. And if all those values are got correctly, that is you have 32, 54, 20 up to this 45, all are correct, you get this accuracy 2 marks. And if you now add correctly the summation fd square and arrive at 196 correctly, you have this bonus 1 mark. So next mark is substituting correctly in the formula for standard division. You are 196 and you are 45 correctly. You have this method 1 mark. And getting this 45 alone, that is the total of the frequencies as 45, you have this bonus 1 mark. And when you now take the square root and arrive at your standard deviation 2.087, rounded to 3 decimal places correctly, you have this accuracy 1 mark. So question number B has a 7 good marks.